Hello everyone, my name is Cam, and I'm here to give you my first battle report from Warhammer Fantasy 8th Edition. We've got the Ogres going up against the Lizardmen today. 1,000 points each, and we're playing on a smallish board, about 48 by 48, to accommodate the smaller battle size. So here we got my Ogre list. I took an Ogre Bruiser to be the General, and another Ogre Bruiser to be the BSB. Not too much in terms of equipment. We've got 4 Iron Guts, 10 Noblars with traps, some redirectors, 6 Lead Belchers, which I'm hoping will get a lot of damage done, and a Saber Tusk, another redirector, and an Iron Blaster. Another shot of the army here. So definitely what I like to do with the Ogres is heavy range, a lot of redirectors, try to stall out the battle, and then really take advantage of the later house. So hopefully that'll play out that way. We'll find out though. The Ogre Lady and a couple of the Samurai guys in my Iron Gut unit are from a recent Fortnite campaign. So they earned their stripes in that. I'm hoping they'll earn in their first actual big scale battle. And here we got the Lizardman force. My opponent has gone with very little in terms of characters. He's leading his force with a level 2 Skink Priest, and he has got numbers. He's got 2 units of 10 Skinks with blowpipes. They're in skirmisher formation. He's got 30 SARS warriors. I believe they have full command. I don't have the list in front of me for either of us, unfortunately. He's got 5 Cold Ones, 3 Croxagores, and a Salamander. So definitely a lot of Lizardmen that we will have to deal with. And so we got a shot here of his 2 spells. He's got the signature beast spell for the +1 strength, +1 toughness, and then the Amber Spear, hoping to deal some multi-wounds to my Ogres. We got a shot here of the lovely Lizardman force. A couple unpainted guys, but pretty much a fully ready to go army here, which is very cool. Definitely going to be worried about all those poisonous shots coming in from the Skinks. And there we go. We got a shot of the lovely little Ogre force that's going to be going up against them, looking quite outnumbered. And yes, this is my starting formation here. So I want to play pretty tight. I got this tower that we're not playing with actual tower rules or anything, just an impassable piece of terrain. I got that to my side to kind of protect my flank. Got the Noblars and the Saber Tusk in front to hopefully redirect. Yeah, and we got those Lead Belchers on the flank as well. Hopefully they will thin down a Lizardman unit or 2. There you go, another shot there. Decided to put the BSB in the Lead Belcher unit since it's got those pistols. Hoping to pick off a couple of guys, adding to that range volley. You can see here the Lizardman starting formation. They got a wide line. They got their Cold Ones on the far flank, hoping to blitz up, probably do some nasty flank damage to my Ogres. And he's also got the Croxagores on that side, so he's got some heavy hitters on the side, magic on the opposite side with his Skink embedded inside one of the skirmishing units. And yeah, the big block of SARS seem to be right in the middle. And they'll be marching up slow and steady, I'm sure. And with all my range and the range advantage, I'm definitely going to let him come to me, which makes sense. And Lizardmen got the first turn, so they know that. I know that. They are not going to be sitting around and getting shots. They use their movement. They pretty much go their max distance in the first turn here, blitzing up as close as they can. Don't believe there was much in terms of range attacks coming from them on the first turn. Everything marched. We sent our Hound forward. I'm hoping that'll just delay a unit or 2, maybe soak up some shots that my more expensive units would have taken. Yes, and then my first turn, I dealt 1 wound to the Salamander with a cannonball. I believe the Lead Belchers just missed every attack in the first turn. So not really what I was hoping for from such a large range investment on the Ogres. Their opening volley was quite disappointing. But hopefully they'll be able to make up for it for the next 5 turns. So on turn 2, we can see the Lizardmen, are preparing for a very nasty flanking maneuver on my Ogres here. They got their salamander kind of tucked away on the far side there, but the cold ones, the Croxigors, are getting ready for a charge. So I will definitely have to respond to that, otherwise I'm going to be throwing the game with 2 hard-hitting units like that coming into my flank. Even if you're an ogre, you're going to get torn apart. So you definitely need to respond to that, probably with those lead belchers there. And yeah, the rest of my opponent's turn is pretty much spent moving his skinks up. He's going to be getting some cheeky little shots on my Noblars. I believe he finishes off my Hound, tragically. But again, that was kind of what he was there for, so round shooting. And yeah, not too many of my more valuable targets are getting hit on this first turn due to the short range of the Lizardmen. Yep, there's the dead pile. We lost 2 Noblars, and unfortunately my Saber-Tusk puppy took a fall. I like to use the Hounds instead of the cats. Like cats, but you know, I think it's kind of a cool little change up. So, not bad from the Lizardmen, definitely more successful than us at the moment. But at the start of turn 2, the Ogre Lead Belcher unit's going to do a little bit of the pivoting, same with the Iron Guts and same with my cannon. I'm going to be trying to make a tight little ball formation here, or simulate kind of curve. Prepare for any nasty flank charges, make sure they're not on the flank, they're going to be on our front. My hope is that these lead belchers are going to bring one of these units coming on the flank here, either the cold ones or the Croxigors, down to a non-contributing number. Either 1 Croxigor remains or 1 or 2 cold ones. Then they'll be able to stand the melee. But no such luck. We only got 1 Croxigor. I did have some good luck though. My cannon was able to blow apart the salamander. Nice clean shot, so that really helps. But we are not looking too hot because I know that I got 2 Croxigors and 5 cold ones, possibly getting bumped by the Skink Priest magic coming in on that lead belcher unit. I do have the BSB in there, but he's really not armed too heavily. He just has a brace of pistols, so I don't really think he'll be doing a whole lot in that combat, but we will see. So, yep, another shot there by the Lizardmen dead pile. I got very lucky with that cannonball shot, especially with the first turn not doing a whole lot. I wasn't feeling too optimistic about that shot, but they got lucky. Did finish off that salamander. During the first or second turn, it did do a breath attack, but it rolled very low on its artillery dice and attempted to touch anything, so. We got the start of turn 3 here, and the Lizardmen are charging in. You can see in the background there, the lead belchers are getting swarmed by Croxigors and cold ones, and the Lizardmen are just really getting in our face here. Most of my heavy-hitting units are currently facing that flank, so I can't really have any of them deal with the Skinks or Saurus unit. To be honest, I'm just trying to buy my time. I don't really have much to deal with that Saurus block, so I'm trying to deal with all the other threats at the moment. But we will see what happens in that combat there. Again, we do have the BSB, and he's got a decent stat line, and he will be attacking before the Croxigors do. I am still somewhat skeptical of the results. Additionally, the Lizardmen did get their buff spell off on those cold one knights. You can see here the Skinks are moving up right into the Noblar spaces. Now, again, with kind of throwaway redirector units like this, I'm okay with what's happening right now. These 2 or 3 rounds, of shooting is getting absorbed by these throwaway units that up to about 75 points. That easily could have lost much more in points value if those were shooting at ogres or other targets. But he really needs to deal with those units, because if he doesn't, they're going to stall up the units that matter when they start to get into position. So it's kind of a necessary trade-off that he has to do, but I'm not too upset with the results there. I do believe both of those Skinks units moving up right now, double tapping into the Noblars, they are going to shop there. Yep, just get another lovely sight here. all these skinks getting ready to just obliterate all these poor little enslaved Noblars to my Ogre tribe. They didn't want to be here, and I don't know if they're going to get to go back home after this. Also see the desperate charge of the Lizardmen on the lead poachers. Oh. Yep, so as you can see, all of the Noblars have unfortunately been killed by both those skinks double tapping poisonous darts right into them. Poor guys don't even have a save. What did you expect though? Only 2.5 points. Which is also kind of funny because when you take 10 of them at 2.5 points, it comes out to 25 points, which is just as much as the trap upgrade costs, and it meets the minimum unit requirement. So that is, in my opinion, when you play ogres, the ideal size to take those units. You take 10 of them with the trap, 50 points. It is one of the most annoying and probably efficient redirectors, trash throwaway units in the game. But now they're dead. So, I don't have a shot of the post-combat here, so I'll have to go over it quick. But to give the long story short, the Lizardman players, cold ones, managed to get a perfect roll and hit every single attack, I believe get a couple extra predatory fighter rolls, and then proceed to wound with every single attack. And being lead belchers, we don't really have much of a save. I think about 2, maybe 3 lead belchers are just killed from the cold one knights. A perfect roll from the Lizardman player. I was definitely starting to sweat at this point. We do have the Iron Guts behind them. They have pivoted. They're prepared to pick up the scraps of the lead belchers, but that was really dicey. I do believe I get a little bit lucky. The VSB does manage to kill one of the Croxivores, but losing 3 lead belchers, him getting a perfect roll like that, definitely not looking good. What ends up happening, though, is a little bit fortunate for me. Again, I unfortunately don't have a shot at this. I'll be working better. This is my first battle report on getting all these photographs, but the lead belchers retreat. Oh, yep, you can see there. Or casualty pile. The lead belchers retreat. They actually go through my Iron Gut unit. And when he pursues, they're stalled up on the Iron Gut unit. And it's my turn that follows. I get a decent roll. The Iron Guts manage to kill off all of the Cold One Knights. With my generals in there as well, the Great Weapon. And we managed to get that last Croxivore. So you could say, after looking at that, I kind of looked at everything and I was like, okay, well, he did lose his 2 heavy hitters. I pretty much lost half, if not more, of my lead belcher unit. I think all in all, look, you can see his casualty pile there. I think all in all, everything kind of actually balanced out a bit there. Now, he still probably has a point lead on me at this point, so I'm feeling a little bit nervous, and like I need to capitalize on clearing one of his units out. I know that that Saurus ball of 30 is pretty dang expensive, so we definitely need to get a unit killed and not lose too many more of our numbers here, or else this game's completely over. Now again, though, I will say he got very, very lucky with the Cold One Knights getting a perfect roll, just obliterating 3 of those lead belchers right on the spot. But I also did get a little bit lucky when he overran into the Iron Gut unit. The lead belchers didn't run off the board because of the angle. They just continued to run kind of sideways on the board away from him. And yeah, I think that the damage the Iron Guts dealt there really just kept everything competitive, which I was excited about. But I still felt like the pressure was on my side at this point. So after the combat, we do a little bit of a reform here. Everyone is facing the main threat, which is obviously the skink units that are double tapping right into our face, and the 30-man Cold One block that is right behind them. So, at this point, like I said, I think he has the point lead. I really need to delete a unit if I want to get that point lead back in the Ogre favor. So my plan is to have a breakout. We're going to have my units try to blitz one of his skink units there. And because ogres are pretty fast, I might be able to catch and kill them. But he does have the first turn here, and he's going to decide to do a giant salvo of poisonous darts in me. So we'll have to see how much damage that does. You can see here too the the Lizardman pincer formation here. It definitely is not looking pretty for the ogres right now. I think my cannon shot at the SARS block, and I managed to pick off 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, it looks like 2 actually. So not really the best shooting from the cannon after it took out that salamander. But I guess I can't complain too much. It did kill the salamander. The lead belchers are just hanging out in the back there. They're hoping to, after they rallied, to just get a couple of shots off, maybe get those points that I need off one of those skinks units. And then again, my Iron Guts and the cannon are hoping to do a breakout and blitz on the other skink unit. So we're going to essentially ignore the SARS block, try to delete these 2 skink units, preserve our numbers, and I think if I can do that, we'll easily have the points victory, especially since one of those skink units has his general inside of it. So that will definitely be a key thing to try and grab at the end here. But again, it is his turn still, and we're going to have to see how much damage he does with these poisonous darts. I have not been getting lucky when it comes to armor saves too. I just want to say I have not passed a single armor save, maybe 1 so far this game. Yep. And you can see there, from the little text, the Lizardmen unload, what would it be, 40 poisonous darts? Maybe one of the units sprinted, I'm not sure, but either way, they deal 6 wounds, kill 2 of my Iron Guts, and I think they might even deal an extra wound or 2 to my general, the champion. So all in all, I think they did like 6, 9 wounds or so. It was, yep. So 2 dead Iron Guts, a wound on my champion, 2 wounds on my leader. So he did 9 wounds from that salvo, and I didn't pass. I don't think I passed any of those saves. Maybe 1. Just terrible luck. But it's a 5-up save. I guess I shouldn't expect too much. And yeah, you can see though we did make the blitz. He decided to stand and shoot again, which might have actually dealt 1 or 2 of those extra wounds there. He might not have done it in just one salvo. But we did do the charge when it was my turn. He stand and shot against my guys, got another wound or 2. But most importantly, I do have my general, Iron Gut champion and the Iron Blaster in combat right now with his skink unit that has his caster. And sure enough, we smoked the unit. They are down to just 4. However, he does manage to flee away from me, which is just so frustrating. We still have 1 turn left, but it is not pretty. And you can see my lead belchers are starting to kind of tuck themselves away here. Now that they don't have any support, it's not looking too pretty for them. They definitely are not liking their odds. I think they get 1 more barrage in and kill 2 skinks. And then when he charges me, we decide to flee. And again, so we're fleeing from the angle that we were facing in the unit's direction. I asked my opponent about this before we did the charge and everything, and we agreed that they would be going in straight line back. I do actually manage to get this flee away. I think I rolled pathetic 3 inches or something, and he's like, I don't even know. He's close to me. It was very, very close, but we did manage to flee away. We didn't run off the board, and I do believe we rally on the final turn. And this is a nice little shot here. You can see the wraparound on both sides, but most importantly, final turn, my general, the Iron Gut, and the Iron Blaster managed to catch and kill the Skink Priest and the Skinks. This was the final turn, and Ogres, like I said, had the second half of the turn sequence, so we managed to get the victory there. I'll go over kind of the points and such in 1 second. And there we go, we've got the points for the Ogres. I'm left with 3 Lead Belchers, my Ogre General, BSB, Iron Blaster, and Champion. Although we did make some rule errors, and I'll go over that later on. But there's definitely some stuff I should have done differently in this game. First big one is I shouldn't have put my BSB in the Lead Belcher unit. I should have focused fire on the SARS instead of the Skinks. The Skinks are a harder target with their skirmish, and the SARS are worth more points. And I think that if I just had my general put some attacks on that skink, that priest at the very end, I wouldn't have had to risk him running away. I instead put the attacks on the unit thinking about the combat res, and okay, I'll just auto-catch him, but no. Instead, I really left it on a gamble on those last couple of turns, and I think I could have avoided that if I just simply put my attacks on the skink priest while I was in melee. And then for the Lizardmen, they were left with about 28 Saurus warriors and 8 skinks. Again, I don't have the Lizardmen rulebook in front of me here, so I'm going off of rough estimates here. That was around 320, 360-ish points. And then lastly, some stuff that my opponent maybe could have done a little differently. If he was going to focus so much firepower on my throwaway units, perhaps move up the Saurus a little bit faster so they could get into combat, and maybe not put as many dice into casting Lycian's Wild Form every single turn, and instead put more dice into Amber's Spear, which could have actually done a lot of damage, especially considering how weak my ogres were in the final couple of turns. Very last thing is we did make a couple of rule errors. My opponent forgot about the stupidity on the cold ones and a couple other Lizardmen things. I also forgot about my own ogre charge rule. I didn't realize until much later the banner crumble rule was a thing. And in general, both of us hadn't played in about like 5 months or so. So I think there was a little bit of forgiveness on everyone's end when it came to the rules. And regardless, you know, we had a great game. My opponent felt happy about it, I felt happy about it, and I think that that's a perfect Warhammer game. And that's the end of my first battle report. Thank you everyone for watching. Be sure to stick around and see what else is coming up. Have a great day.